Well, good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Very sad news out of Minnesota. Oh, bummer. There's a representative, I think her name is Melissa Hortman. I will put a link in the description box so you can check it out. Also, her husband. They were both gunned down and killed this morning. Another representative and their spouse were shot, but they will live. But Mr. and Mrs. Hortman, they're no longer with us. They've identified the guy. Who gives a shit what his name is, but they're currently looking for him. I'm sure they'll have him soon. They'll probably find him in the parking lot of his old high school with ventilation out the back of his head like the pussy that he is. But apparently the guy dressed up like a cop. I guess that's how, I don't know if he entered their home, but it's definitely how he got close enough to them to pull the trigger and kill them both. I'm still waiting to hear about the calls for stricter gun legislation. And I was talking to a friend of mine, shout out to my man Tom. He texted me this morning and he showed me the story, and I said, I'll bet you, he said, like it's probably some something along the lines of it's MAGA or something. I said, no, I bet you it's one of their own, and they weren't progressive enough. They weren't far enough to the left. They weren't crazy enough. No. We can't stop it at men in women's sports or boys and girls sports. No. We need to get into the genital mutilation and the hormone blockers. Let's get crazy. And I guess a week ago, she voted against her wishes, but she voted with the Republicans to repeal benefits for illegal adults. Who in the hell would be against that? Well, as we know, there are millions of people who are. And she voted against it. She voted to stop the medical benefits for illegal adults. And I guess the guy who killed her, of course, he's a nutty lefty. He had a bunch of flyers in his vehicle that said, "No King," the whole protest that's going on today. So he's crazy as fuck. And I guess that he was appointed by Tim Walz in 2019 to some position, but I don't like when they do that. I don't like when the left does it, and I don't like when the right does it, or the conservatives, whatever the fuck you want to say. I don't like when both sides say that, oh, this person, he or she did something crazy. Well, they were appointed by so-and-so. Well, that doesn't mean shit. Just because you appoint somebody doesn't mean, oh, so I see here you're a psychopath. Yeah, let me bring you on. Oh, you have a tendency toward violence? You're going to kill somebody? Cool, man. Let me hire you on here. Like, nobody fucking knows that. You don't know who you're hiring or whatever. So I don't like when they do that. So what if he was hired by Tim Walz? That means he's just as stupid as Tim Walz is. But it's a tragedy. And, of course, when they heard about this, I know they wanted it. Oh, I know. I know their tiny little lipstick got hard. Like when a dog gets an erection and a little pink thing comes out, look like lipstick. Their little lipstick came out and they started humping each other's legs because they were like, oh my goodness, a Democrat representative and her husband were shot and killed and 2 more were shot. This has gotta be a gun-toting, Bible-thumping, truck-driving, American flag-waving, sister-fucking Trump-loving MAGA. It had to be, man. I bet they thought the shooter drove a truck. He just came from Walmart. He went to church. He had a bunch of American flags in his car. He had guns and ammunition in there. He was anti-abortion, man, that son of a bitch. You ain't gonna be my governor, my representative. That's who they wanted it to be. They were hoping and praying. They had their little tiny fingers crossed, and they were hoping that it would be a Trumper so they could say, see, they're crazy. They're just like their leader. They're crazy and they're violent and they shot this girl for no reason. I'm sorry, what'd you say? Oh, he's one of us? They're too crazy. They're too psychotic. Their rules and regulations are too convoluted and fluid. They're always changing. The line is always moving. They get caught up in their own shit and eventually they eat their own. And unfortunately, in some cases like this, they take it to the ultimate level and people lose their lives. And that's really fucked up. But it's all about this immigration bullshit. You know, the no kings, like the guy had the flyers and the killer had the flyers in his car. It's because they're saying that Trump is a king and they're protesting. This shit is crazy. But it's not, you can't blame it on rhetoric. You can't blame it on policy, because none of that justifies somebody being killed. But this is the product of saying that side is evil. They're not just people who did something bad. They don't have any redeeming value. They're evil. They're Nazis. They're not human. It is so easy to step on a bug, isn't it? Ladies, when's the last time something was flying around your hair and you said, no, wait a minute, let's catch it, take it outside, and release it? When's the last time you saw a spider and said, no, don't smash it, let's take it outside and release it so we can maybe do a Charlotte's Web with somebody's pig on a farm? Nope. You scream and you either kill it yourself or you call your man in the room to kill it for you. It's easy to step on those little tiny things. It's easy to snuff out their little lives. So if you can make some people look at other people like that, well, not only is it easy to perpetrate violence on them, we have to. It's our obligation. What kind of person are you to see this evil manifesting itself and you don't do anything about it? Don't you want to be on the right side of history? You have to do something about it. That is a Trump supporter. They agree with every single thing that Trump says. They're in lockstep. They are Nazis as well, so we got to do something about it. So when people like that who are mentally unstable see somebody who they perceive is supposed to be on their side, this guy probably felt betrayed. He probably felt that this woman should have voted against that no matter what, no matter if it were a detriment to her career, if it fucked up the budget or whatever. She should have stayed on script and voted to keep the illegals siphoning money from the Minnesota taxpayer, because that's what that shit is. Wait, hold up. You're going to come to my country illegally and then I got to take care of your bitch ass? When you hurt yourself, when you scrape your knee, and you go to the hospital, you take your sick-ass little kid with their mouth full of silver teeth because you let them fall asleep with a bottle full of Coca-Cola every night? I gotta pay for that shit? And you're not even supposed to be here? So wait a minute. You get hurt, you get sick, your child gets sick, you gotta pay for it, and they say, all right, do you have insurance? Hey, no insurance. So of course they're going to treat you and release your little bastard ass. So then when my kid gets sick, my little American citizen child gets sick, I'm sorry, how much was that ibuprofen? How much was this room per night? How much was that ambulance ride? How much was this stay in the hospital? It's an astronomical amount of money because you have to cover the fools who can't cover themselves. And that wouldn't happen if you closed the border and kept these fuckers out of here. Well, Jericho, if you close the border, you can't keep anybody out. Hold on a second. I want to get it on a conference call with the president of Hungary because they figured out how to seal their border tight as virgin vagina in 24 hours. It's called a fence. We'll talk about that later. That is some sick shit, man. That really is. That some people, this dude thought he was justified in killing those people because they voted against it. They voted against the illegal. They sided with the authoritarian, the dictator, the ruler, the king, Trump, please. So it's very unfortunate, very sad for their family. I don't know if they had kids. They probably did. Even if they didn't, I'm sure they had friends and family members and coworkers who cared about them and loved them, who kissed them goodbye for the last time. Why? Because she voted against your interests. So that's a reason to take somebody's life now in 2025. Shit is getting out of control. And I have yet to see the MAGA hat wearing Yosemite Sam that keeps snuffing out these leftists. Keep waiting to see him. But every single time it's one of them. It's some crazy fuck and they're on their side. Some Ku Klux trans member or some far left jackass. It's always them. So maybe MAGA is not the problem. Meet me in the comments. Talk to me, Goose. What do you think about this shit? Is it going to get, probably going to get worse? Unfortunately, it won't be the last person that this happens to, man. It's really, really sad. But meet me in the comments. I want to hear what you think. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. I'm out.